Hey, everybody. So we're going to use the headset tonight. I see William is in the house and Nate is in the house. Thank you guys for stopping in. We're just going to give it a couple seconds here to send the notifications out as always. And I'm just kind of winging it tonight. For those who saw Friday's live stream, we tried a card game, so I got a couple of those packs here. I have the game on my computer if we want to go that route, and just have some stuff to talk about in general. So while we are waiting for notifications and stuff to be sent out, please, William, Nate, tell me I am not the only one that is exhausted from this time change. You get an extra hour of sleep, and yet today I was in bed at 5 p.m. Like, what the heck? Hey, Nancy stopping in. I know Nancy played the game with me a little bit earlier Friday. I want to say it was Friday. My days are a blur, you guys. Everything's a blur. I genuinely had someone last week that asked me what I do for fun. Or I don't even think they said that specifically. They said, "What do you do when you're not being the manager of the campus suites? What do you do? What are some of your hobbies?" And I was so caught off guard by that question. I just kind of gave them a confused look, and they were like, "Well, what do you do for fun?" And I was like, that's a funny question. I work, and more work." I'm not doing my college job. I'm doing my college classes, which, Nate, I apologize. I missed your live stream last Wednesday. I had to rewatch it. We had Spirit Week at the college. So I did Wednesday night. I single-handedly put on a campus-wide dance. And I guess we could start off the live stream by talking about that a little bit. I know some people were asking how it went and stuff. Unfortunately, Spirit Week, in my eyes, I mean, I hate to describe it this way because those that showed up did have a blast, but I would say it's a bust. There were certain days where, I kid you not, I was the only person on campus that participated in the Spirit Week. You would think Pajama Day. I didn't participate in that one because we had some important officials. It just was not a good day for staff to be wearing pajamas. But Pajama Day, you would think that would be a hit with college students, and I did it purposely on a Monday, so starting the week off on an easy note. And I think out of the entire campus, 6 people participated, I want to say, 5 or 6. Kind of the same thing throughout the entire week, whether it was pumpkin carving. We ordered 25 pumpkins and only 6 of them got carved. So now I have 25 minus 6, 19 pumpkins sitting in the lobby of the dorms in a bin, and I have to figure out what to do with them. Luckily, deer season's coming up, so there's a lot of people that would like to go take take pumpkin out into the woods to feed the deer. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I do something that route. But yeah, basically all week long, whether it was pumpkin carving, dressing up, the Halloween dance, only about 6 participants actually took part. So I know the dance, we had a little bit more. We had 11 people. William's talking about some good ideas right there. I've been debating about that. There it goes. Pumpkin seeds and pumpkin pie. I was debating about that. I still might do that. But the fact that no one's participating in any of my stuff, do I want to now try to do a cooking night and teach them how to make pumpkin seeds is easy, but pumpkin pie? To put that time and money into it and not have anyone show up. It's got me considering whether or not I want to have a winter spirit week because I was planning that for February, but I don't know, maybe we'll still do it, but yeah, that's how Spirit Week went. I appreciate those who were asking. I always love when you guys are asking stuff like that and showing interest. It's just amazing, but definitely was not a hit. Not as big of a hit as I was hoping for. So, on the flip side of things, I have successfully finished one of my classes for this semester. I finished 7 weeks early, and I have 2 left. One of them I was trying to finish today. I worked ahead. I think I have a week and a half left. And there's, what week are we on? Week 11 out of 16. So not bad. I'm ahead. No rush, but it's kind of letting me relax a little bit more, knowing that, hey, there's only one class theoretically that I have to keep up with every single week now. The other one's completely done, and the other programming one, that's pretty darn close. I will be signing up for classes next spring as well. You guys have heard me say I bit off more than I could chew, but this is the last year that I will have my college paid for, let alone be receiving overage checks to take classes. Because, see, when you go to college, I'm not going to go deep into detail here, but when you go into college, the federal government, the FAFSA that you have to complete, goes based off of your income, not this year. It's a couple years back. So really, the FAFSA that needed to be completed for this academic year was when I was living as a nomad on the road, and thus, I hate to say it, but I was literally, that's the least amount of money in a single year I have ever made in my life. So in that case, I still get a bunch of benefits, such as a Pell Grant, or in Michigan, we have TIP. And that basically pays for all my college, all my books, etc. And I get a decent overage check as a result, and none of it has to be paid back unless I withdraw or fail my classes. So with that, I also only need to take 3 more classes next spring to get an associate's degree in computer programming. So at this point, who am I, especially when I have A's in all 3 of my classes right now? Who am I to give up and not try next semester when that would literally be my last semester probably ever, honestly? Because once I get that degree, I don't see myself continuing my education at all. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm hanging in there. I'm counting down the days to winter break. I'm getting excited for Europe. Nancy, we talked about this a little bit on the last live stream, but I'll talk about it a little bit more on this one. I am going to be playing a very dangerous game during my Europe trip. I found out that my layover is most likely going to be in Amsterdam, which is a location on my original bucket list. Now, the layover is probably going to be 5-6 hours long, and the train from the airport to the center of the city round trip takes an hour. So that gives me several hours to just kind of do whatever. So what I'm going to try to do, no worries, William, I appreciate you stopping in if we do lose you. So what I'm going to do for the Europe trip is I'm going to just either go visit the Van Gogh Museum, or I am going to do a wine and cheese boat and go down the canals. And then try to book it back to the airport on the train, get through security again, and make my flight to continue with the vacation. Now, you guys knowing me at this point, does anything ever go that smoothly? Like, it's just asking for trouble. But when you're at an airport for 5 to 6 hours in a destination you've dreamed of your entire life, how do you sit in the airport and just do nothing? Like, especially another important factor that's playing into this is when I continue my trip, there's also going to be bus rides from, say, Italy to Germany, several hours long, and there's no internet. So I'm going to need a book. I'm going to need downloaded TV shows, maybe a downloaded movie, something along those lines. Well, if I'm in an airport for 6 hours, yes, I guess they have internet there, but like I only have so much stuff that I could just download and watch and whatnot. And I have several books. You could argue that, but I don't want to bring a bunch. My idea is I want to bring barely anything on the trip. And strangely enough, bring barely anything back. I will bring some souvenirs. I'll probably get some souvenirs that I'll give away here on the channel. Maybe we'll do a late New Year's Eve Christmas party and I'll give away some stuff. But I'm also downgrading. I'm getting rid of a lot of my stuff in life right now. When Nate was up here this summer, we talked about that a little bit, how I have a tote right now and it's filled with like awards that I've gotten through my life and newspaper clippings and stuff like that. And it's even time to just let stuff like that go because eventually, if I'm going to live on the road and live in a camper, you're not going to have a lot of room. So, with all of that being said, I see we have a couple people in the house now. Nancy, you know how it works. Can somebody please, even a couple people, just spit a number in chat between, I don't know, 1 and 20. I mean, there's a bunch of cards in here, but pick a number, random number, just not insanely high. I see my YouTube is actually glitching out too. That was really bizarre. I saw William, your message just came through on the YouTube side and my entire screen just went black. Really weird. I do apologize if I lag or anything like that. The college internet has been having some issues lately. It's something we're trying to solve the past 2 weeks. Nancy is saying number 18 here. So let's go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Hey, Georgianne, thank you for stopping in. We're just having a little bit of fun tonight and trying to get to know each other better. William's bringing up a good question before I read our card here. Did I find the adapters? Yes and no. So when it comes to the Europe trip, I did talk to somebody who has been in many of the locations that I will be visiting. And she said a couple years ago anyway, she did not need adapters at all. Now, I'm not going to rely on that because I would hate to get all the way to Europe and not be able to charge my phone, especially if there's an emergency. I want to be able to have my cell phone. But I do have that one I bought at the thrift store, so I'll be bringing that one. And this is my plan right now. As we are in the month of November, we have Black Friday coming up. Now, for those who don't know, a little tidbit of information here from a former Walmart employee. Black Friday starts, I think, this coming week and will continue for the entire month through Walmart. They drop new deals every single week. So what my plan is, outside of just Walmart. I am going to buy the newest GoPro that was just released, I think, a month or two ago, the GoPro Hero 12. I'm going to buy that. I am going to buy the latest DJI mini drone. I think it's number 4. I'm going to try to get that on sale. I'm going to buy a neck pillow and some earbuds. I'm going to try to buy an adapter, which some of this stuff might not be on sale, but I figure, you know what? November, Black Friday, that's when a lot of stuff is the biggest sales of the year. And I've been wanting a drone forever. You guys know from previous videos, and it drives me nuts. My GoPro has been having a bunch of issues, and I'm just sick of it. I do not want to chance it going to Europe because, in my eyes, it already has ruined several of my videos. So I'm just going to buy the latest and greatest. And yes, it's going to be a lot of money. And part of me is thinking about buying a property still by next summer. Like if I'm spending $1,000 on Black Friday, that's less money getting put into property. And if I'm being honest, you guys, I've had a lot on my mind lately. I'm not really in a bad mood. It's not like seasonal depression or anything. I see Williams. Hold on here. I'm going to grab his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. Grab that before I forget. And I appreciate that, William. I always forget to mention it. I'm throwing stuff now. But, yeah, if I'm being honest, guys, it's not like a seasonal depression or anything like that. But I've had a lot on my mind lately because you guys have heard me several times that I planned on doing this job for 3 years. I see Nate throwing a number in there, so I'm going to grab his quick too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, William. So, actually, before I continue my story, let's pick one of these here. That one is not really relevant to me, but it's a funny one. I'll still read it because I'm curious to see what people will come up with. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's a very good one for the topic. Um let's start with this one. I see Cat Life coming in here. Georgianne is asking, what does the numbers mean? So we're just having a game night, Georgianne. I have a bunch of games here, card games. It's called Spark, and it's meant to get us kind of outside of our comfort zones, vulnerable a little bit. And this is the Icebreaker edition. So it's also going to help us build connections, both me to you guys and vice versa. And also, you guys in chat will get to know each other a little bit better. And there's all kinds of different, like I said, this is the Icebreaker. We have a friendship edition, a distance edition, all kinds of additions to this game. So right now, I just asked everyone to pick a random number, and I go and I pick that card out of the deck. And the next part, I just read it out, and I want to hear your guys' answer in the chat, and I'll share my answer as well at some point. So the first one of the night here is, if you got to spend a year abroad with all expenses paid, where would you go? And I see Georgianne is saying number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to type that question up in chat as well. If you got to spend a year abroad, all expenses paid, where would you go? And before I answer it, thank you, Cat Life. Going back to kind of what I was mentioning here. So for me lately, it's it's a it's tricky because you guys, obviously all of you know how much I love living on the road. All of you know that. You know how much I love traveling, meeting new people, seeing different cultures, just all those different aspects. You guys already know how passionate I am about that. It's one of the biggest things I strive for in life, if not the biggest, really. So, on the flip side of that, you have heard me say I'm going to keep this job for a couple years, 3 years. Year one, buy a vehicle. Year two, buy a property. Year three, buy a camper. But I'm sitting here, and today I genuinely actually wanted to talk to somebody. So this is convenient. If I'm being honest and sharing everything with you guys right now, I just wanted to talk to someone earlier and have a listening ear type of thing. Because how do you say enough is enough and eventually quit the job when the insurance and the benefits are the best I'll probably ever see in my life, without a doubt? And I don't pay rent. I really have little to no bills. I don't pay water. I don't pay internet. I don't pay electricity, heat, garbage, none of that. How do you give that opportunity up? How do you know when it's time to go all in on you? Knowing that, hey, I'm going to quit the job, I have enough money saved up, and I know I'm going to make it. And maybe it doesn't even have to be that, though, but know that, hey, I'm good for a couple years, and then from there, I'll start a new chapter. How do you know when it's time? That's the question that's been on my mind a lot lately. How do you know it's time to give up a phenomenal opportunity? And part of me sitting here thinking, what if I worked the job for 10 years? If I worked the job for 10 years, I'd be mid 30s and just, I'd own a property, I'd own a tiny house, I'd own a nice vehicle, a nice camper, like so much potential there. At just 10 years, just 10 years, that's it, 10 years. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, if I'm doing 3, do 2 more. And at that point, you're already at 5, so just do that one more time, 5 more years. And it gets you thinking. But then on the flip side of it, this is a concern of me. 10 years from now, Rocky would be 14 years old. 14 years old. German Shepherds typically don't live that long. So, although it would really, really set me up, I also don't want to give up the memories and adventures with Rocky as well. I want to be able to still get out there and go on hikes with him when he still is able to. I mean, even some German Shepherds in old age, they have hip problems. And it's one thing if he didn't want to hike or stuff like that. It's another when it's like he's old age, I'd have to leave him in the camper and I go out hiking by myself. And I'm kind of fighting back tears at this thought right now because just the thought of losing Rocky no matter what is emotional to me, but like you're only guaranteed so much time with them. And you guys hear me talk about live life to the fullest, tomorrow's never guaranteed. So how do you find that balance between a phenomenal opportunity to set yourself up and build in life but then also just live and go with the flow and go all out and cherish the moments. And how do you find that balance? You're young, time to save now. When you finally tell yourself I have what I need, then it's time to go. And that's the thing. Going into this, I was from the very beginning, I was like, I'm only gonna do 1 year. No, I'll do 2 years. You know what? No, okay, I'll do three. And then it's like because on the flip side too, I'm young. So I'm able to bounce back easier. Now Rocky have to deal with circumstances if I had to bounce back, such as me getting this job now, and now he's an indoor dog versus an outdoor, like, pretty much he was an outdoor dog. I mean, we were outside all the time. So as long as you have a plan, that answer is only you. God, it's in Kobe. It's in God's hands. He will let you know. It's that's something that's just been on my mind a lot lately, you guys. So if I seem off, even in chat or in my live streams the last couple weeks, it's a lot. Because on the flip side of it, you guys see me taking these classes, you guys see me struggling, and I'm sitting here going, "What if it's for nothing?" Because I got my business degree, which, yes, without that degree, I would not have my job right now. But I got my degree in the spring, and for 4, 5 months, I was trying to use it to get a job, a remote job, which is a little trickier. I was trying to get a remote job so I could continue life as a nomad, and every single person I went to, even the ones that said they were entry level, you need years of experience. So, what if I am struggling and adding unnecessary stress to my life right now to get this programming degree, and in the end, it's not even worth it? Lots of stuff on my mind, but William very well said. That's kind of what I'm trying to tell myself lately, that I'll know. I'll just know. It's I'll know. But that's enough of me being a little Debbie Downer here. Let's go back up. I see Nate's answering the question. I think he was the first one. He said that if he could go anywhere, all expenses paid, he would go to Australia. That is actually on my bucket list as well, which you guys probably at this point, you hear me say that so much, it's like, what the hell's not on your bucket list? But Australia is in my bucket list. Uh, Having the name Kobe starting with a K, part of it was always the fact that I loved kangaroos because they were spelt with a K, and nothing is ever spelt with a K. So I wanted that, and it looks beautiful there. And I have a student right now, an international student here at the college that was born and raised in Australia. And some of the stories he shared with me, it's been absolutely amazing. Ireland, that's another good one. I would like to go to Ireland. That one is not on my bucket list though, so I'm not going to say that phrase again. I would like to go there though. William going back to Guam and stay. Okay. That's one I've heard great things about Guam, but it's not really on my map anywhere. It's not like I I don't know. If I went there, I'm sure I it would probably be a cool trip, no doubt. Um but that's not something that's kind of on my radar. I'm sure I'll get there one day. I've heard it's beautiful. Nancy coming in with Spain, kind of same thing. I've heard it's beautiful. It's not really on my radar. Probably wouldn't mind it if I went though. Um that's I've heard great things about it, and that's eventually I would like to see a lot of Europe. Um, Even part of me, I have a personal goal. I don't know if I ever shared this with you guys. I don't have a goal to go to every single state. I have a goal to visit every single country in my lifetime. Which, I mean, country, continent. Eventually, that means I got to go to Antarctica. Part of me thinks that's going to be really cool still because it's Antarctica and I love penguins. And at the same time, it's like, oh my God, like me in Antarctica, that's so. To be fair, though, Upper Michigan is oftentimes warmer than Antarctica. Or no, it's often colder than Antarctica during the winter. So if I could survive Upper Michigan, I could probably survive a couple days in Antarctica. Just saying. Yeah, Georgianne's saying, don't stress over it. Nothing is not never for nothing. It's interesting. A lot of basically I have a how do I want to say this? It kind of sounds bad, but sometimes I treat life like a game. Like a game of cards. No pun intended, but a game of cards where you're dealt a hand and it is your responsibility as the player to make the most out of the cards that you are dealt. Now, I feel like in my situation, I pretty much have the entire deck. I don't have certain cards. I have the entire deck. If I wanted to, I could start buying a bunch of properties and start creating Airbnbs. I could take it 50 million different directions. And that's as I'm coming up to a year and a half and reaching that halfway point, it's really got me thinking about what is the next chapter. But next question here. Here's another good one. I'm curious. I think I know what Nate is going to answer for this one. What is something you can't wait to experience and why? That is our next question of the night. What is something you can't wait to experience and why? I'm guessing we all know what he's going to answer, but curious to see what everyone says. Not to be obvious or cheesy or anything, but obviously Europe. You guys keep hearing me talk about it. I'm so excited. I literally keep checking the countdown all the time. I even just said the other day I was planning like having a family Christmas party the week before, and that way when I leave on Christmas Day, it's not as big a deal. 49 days. Wow. 49 days till I go to Europe. Like, it's blowing my mind, guys. It's starting to fly by, and I hope to God the trip doesn't. It's 10 days long. 11, 12. How many days long is it? It's about I don't know. It's between 10 and 12. We'll say that. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's how I'm getting through things right now, though, is going, I'm almost done, I'm almost done, I'm almost done. And then it's Europe. It's not even, okay, you have 3 classes next semester. You still need that. Nope, we are not thinking about next semester. I mean, yes, I have to. I get it. But next semester doesn't exist. We are getting through this semester. We are making sure my residents do. We are finishing strong. And then we are going on this Europe vacation, and I am relaxing for a month, darn it. Which I still work during winter break, but you get my point. It's a little less hectic. George Ann is saying that she is excited about traveling across Alaska. Okay. that, believe it or not, is something I really want to do as well. It's not on my bucket list. Like, it's just something I eventually was like, you know what? I think I would like to go to Alaska. It looks beautiful up there. Are you going to go during the winter? Are you going during summer, spring? What season are you going, Georgianne? That's going to be an absolutely fun trip. Nancy's saying that's actually a good analogy. That's always how I've imagined life. It sounds bad when I say I treat it like it's a game, but how I that's how I imagine it sometimes. And you just got to go with the flow, and sometimes your cards are better than others and stuff like that. It's like a game of cards. Meet up with you, Nate, and Captain Jack. One of these days, William. One of these days. M25, if I quit my job. 24, 25, 25. M25. Let's aim for M25, William. Sure, Captain Jack, he always goes every year, but let's get it on Nate's radar right now. M25. M25. Everybody mark it. That is if I quit the job. But Georgianne is saying May or June is when she'll be traveling across Alaska. So that's a pretty good time, right in the spring there. Probably still going to have some snow. Honestly, if they didn't, I would probably complain, Georgianne, because Michigan, unfortunately, will probably still have snow. But hey, you never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. I heard it's going to be a warm winter, which usually is a bad thing because a warmer winter means more snow. But we're just going to say warm, less snow, and we're not going to think about it any more than that. I mean, right now we are in November, and I had to post. I don't know how many of you saw it. I had to post a picture because yesterday the grass was bright green and the sun was out and shining. Like that in the month of November is completely unheard of. It's spectacular. It really is. Right now the low is 40 degrees for the night, and it's just downpour raining. It's probably going to create ice on the roads if it does get a little colder. But I'd rather deal with rain right now versus snow. Literally last year, my coworkers and I were just talking about this. Last year on August 17th. No, not August. I wouldn't be shocked, though. October 17th, we had our first snow day last year. And our last one, I think, was in May. Late April, early May was the last one we had. It was a long winter. Nancy is saying that she is looking forward to retirement. No more getting up at 4:30 and no more commuting. I do not blame you there, Nancy. That's part of the reason I loved living on the road. Get to kind of do what you want when you want. And I definitely am looking forward to that again. Excuse me, I told you guys I was tired. Originally, I was going to try to play a game tonight for like 2 hours, but there was no way that was happening. Georgianne is saying M24. I wish. The thing is, though, M23, 22, 21, M Michigan meetup, whatever, it's always in September, and for me, I just can't do it with the job. But I don't know. I might try to talk to my boss about it again next year. I might try to play that card a little bit. The thing is, I have literally right now, I have 10 weeks of vacation time. Well, not vacation time, but time off. I have 10 weeks of time off that needs to be used, and it's kind of like, if I make sure the dorms and everything are good, can I just take that week off, that weekend even? Williams counting on it. M25, Nate, Captain Jack, put it on your calendar. M25, gonna have a giant meetup, because that's the plan for me anyway. If it is M25, I plan on quitting the job, and to celebrate, I'm gonna go down to that meetup and then do a couple other things and then head out west. That's gonna be like the grand finale for me, type of deal. Yes, 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 yes. Please take videos and photos, pictures. Same thing. Take a lot when you're up in Alaska. I want to see what it looks like. I was right. I was right. Nate coming in saying he's looking forward to a certain trip to Mexico. To Mexico? I didn't know he was going to Mexico. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, a certain trip. Certain trip. Let's see here. That is 2 out, 2 down, 2 left to go. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to read these, but we're going to repick because neither of these count. I'm curious to see, for giggles here, I want to see what you guys think of me as a person here. But honestly, neither of these questions are relevant to me. The first one is, what do you think was the last reality show I watched? To be honest, I don't think I've ever watched a reality show in my life. Hey, look it. Who's coming in, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. I hope all is well with you as well. It's always nice to see you. Survivor. Okay, I got to give credit to Nate on that one, because while I'm not a reality show person, there's no TV shows on right now because of the protests, so I've been trying to find something to watch. Oh, that's another great one. I actually just Googled that one. He knows me better than I know myself sometimes. Yeah, I often don't watch reality shows, but literally both of those shows, I'd say within the past week, I Googled, because I was trying to find some new shows to watch, something to just relax and unwind, and that's two of the shows I actually looked up, so very good guesses there. Buddy is asking how Rocky is. He is doing phenomenal. I'm pretty sure he's chewing on one of the toys that he shouldn't be right now. At least that's what it sounds like, but it's kind of hard to hear. Rocky, what are you doing? It sounds weird with the headphones on, but you're definitely doing something you shouldn't be. Hey, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. I'll be right back. Give me that. How many times do I gotta tell you? No. Back up. No. You're gonna choke. God. For a smart dog, you could be pretty stupid. Okay, sorry about that. Did I post a video? I think I posted a video. Rocky has a puzzle thing where he has to lift up these pieces and move them to get treats. Oh God, now I just said the T. Oh, he's not paying attention. Okay. So this puzzle board has little white bones on it. He has the habit of picking the entire bone up in his mouth and then chewing on it, and he's gonna end up choking. Now, what do you have? You know, I was gonna offer TREAT because we got people in the house and they're asking how you're doing, but if you're gonna misbehave, I don't know if I want to give you one. To be fair, I did give him 6 this morning. What are you doing? Behave. But yes, he's doing good. But as usual, he's a pain in my ass. Yes, you. Nancy's coming in with Big Brother. Now, I personally have never watched Big Brother, but my sister, my oldest sister, Adriana, those of you who watch the Halloween special, she's the guest star in that video. She used to watch Big Brother. I don't know if she still does. I know she used to love it, though. But he's saying that they retired in September. Now I'm lazy for sure. Oh, that's. I don't know if I could ever be that way. It's kind of like Nate was saying when we were hanging out this summer. He's like, you do know that you could just like take a relaxation day and not go anywhere. Like you could just relax. You don't have to do anything. You could just sit down and relax. And I think I told him, I was like, what is relaxation? Because that it's I don't know if I would ever be able to do that way. Even my vacations, I'm running around like crazy. Are you talking Rocky with you? Taking Rocky with you? Am I taking Rocky with me? Is that what you meant, William? If you meant taking him to Europe, I am not. I don't feel comfortable taking him on flights. And that's why whenever like last year, I went to Arizona for Thanksgiving for a week. He ended up getting boarded. And actually, this is something I was thinking about last night. This will be the very first Christmas since I took Rocky in. Heck, the very first winter even doesn't even have to be that way. It's going to be the very first Christmas since I've seen Rocky, since I've met Rocky, that I will not spend Christmas Day with him. So that kind of got me a little emotional the other day. That's kind of why I said I wanted to have a Christmas party prior to me leaving because I want Rocky at the party. But yeah, I don't fly with him. I feel like he's just been through a lot, and I've heard a lot of horror stories through airlines. So I basically, if you ever hear me taking a flight anywhere, regardless, even if it's from Chicago, from here, if I'm taking a flight, most likely, or not even most likely, guaranteed Rocky is not going to be coming with me. Whenever I go on any trip, I've even had conversations with family members where, hey, let's go out to Arizona. Okay, but Rocky can't be boarded right now. Okay, well, let's do this. And I'm like, no, I have to drive. I will not fly, but I will drive with Rocky to Arizona. Okay, let's do it. You have the time off. Okay, but just so you know, it's going to cost this much in gas. Oh, never mind. That's, yeah, it's part of having dogs. So, last one here. Again, this one I didn't think was relevant to me, but I'll read it. Curious to see what you guys come up with, and I'm kind of scared at the same time. Probably more scared versus curious. Who do you think my celebrity crush is? Definitely don't have a celebrity crush, and I mean, I share everything with you guys, so why would I lie about that? I don't have one, but if I had one, theoretically, who do you guys think it would be? I'm kind of scared to see what these answers are going to be. But yeah, I'm looking at possibly doing 2 live streams a week, trying to get my hours up while playing some games, playing some computer games. I figured out how to get the audio fixed. So that rings a bell, but I can't picture a face to it. I'm scared. I am so scared right now. Oh my god. Definitely not what I was thinking. Hold up. For those who don't know, I'm going to show what this is the person Nate's talking about. Let me open image. Where's percent? Share screen. You guys got to see this. Yep. That's Nate's guess right there. Oh my god. Definitely not. Definitely not. Beyonce. Popular. I obviously know who that is. I will say, I do want to meet him. Like, he is number one on my list of celebrities to meet. I will say that. I just want to freaking meet him for a couple different reasons. He is, do you know? Oh my god. Holy. Okay, maybe. Okay, Nate, maybe. You might have a point there. For 113 billion, maybe. Just maybe. It depends if I'm allowed to travel or not. Yeah, depends if I travel. I'm guessing he travels. But yes, going back to this one, he is number one on my list right now of people I want to meet, celebrity wise, because for starters, my dad and I both love the John Wick trilogy. There's 4 of them. I'm still going to call it a trilogy. My dad and I love the John Wick series. So I would love to meet him, but meet him with my father because I just think that would be one of the coolest memories we could ever have. And be able to take a picture with him and stuff. And he is just one of the nicest guys on the frickin' planet. Like, there are so many stories, and it's like, if I was ever rich, it's kind of like, yep, that's who I would like to be. Spider-Man. It's a good guess. I do always talk about Spider-Man. I have Spider-Man stuff, so good guess. I actually just wore the autographed tux the other day, so that was fun. Lots of students complimented me on it. There was a lot of people actually that even complimented the tux, or I don't know if it was really a tux, the suit. And then it was kind of like they would compliment me, and then all of a sudden they'd walk past and they'd stop and they'd go, "Oh my god, is that side?" And I'd kind of laugh, and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." Taylor Swift, she is everywhere now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Georgianne. Taken. She's taken. But I'm gonna end the live stream here. Not I mean we're getting there. Got a couple more minutes, but gonna end it on kind of a controversial topic. Williams adding Donald Trump in here to make it even more controversial. I think Taylor Swift is overrated. There, I ripped the band-aid off. I said it. The chat is gonna rage now. Everybody's gonna leave. I'm gonna see a bunch of unsubscribes. That's my opinion on that matter. I honestly never. That was a joke. You're good, William. You're good. I've never understood the hype with Taylor Swift ever. she actually is one of the only musicians, singers, that when she comes on the radio, I cannot turn the radio to a different channel or shut it off quick enough. Like, immediately upon hearing her voice, I am irritated, and I want it shut off. I want no part of it. I have never understood the hype with her. Um, it's kind of always driven me nuts, especially back in school, because I remember middle school, high school, especially, everybody loved Taylor Swift and everybody was singing Taylor Swift. And I'm like, I don't know. I love a lot of music. I'm not a fan of her. Mine was a joke too. Yeah. Yeah, she is everywhere though. You're very, very right. She is everywhere right now. And that's because, like Nate said, she's taken for now. Oh boy, don't that I had to add that for now in there, make it a little more controversial. Um like nails on a chalkboard. Honestly, that's how I feel. No, a lot of people disagree with me on that fact. It's a very unpopular opinion, but when I hear her come on the radio, I cannot shut it off quick enough. Williams beating me to the punch here. He's saying, thank you everyone for joining. We appreciate you. Much love. And I know Nancy always calls me out on it. Excuse me. Nancy always calls me out on it. So I'm going to say it before she calls it. It's time for treats. If he decides to behave. Does Rocky want a treat? He's hiding. There he is. You want a treat, buddy? You're going to tilt your head. Now you're going to tilt it the other way. Did I say treats? Yeah, I said treats. You got to press your button, though. Yeah, that's a good boy. Okay, he's pressed the button, you guys. Before I get up and turn the camera around, it is still a mess. You guys are used to it, I'm sure, at this point. I did see Nate was talking about how he's trying to teach Dallas and Pippa the buttons as well. Little tip, just in general, for him, Dallas, Pippa, anyone else who may ever want to try it. The way I taught Rocky was he already know what paw meant. So basically, I would put the button, or I'd put my hand right over the button, and then I would tell him paw. And we did that a couple times. And then eventually I would kind of say, like, press the button or give me your paw, and I would move my hand and I would press it. And that's the thing too. Rocky is very, very smart. Not discrediting Dallas or Pippa or anybody's dog, but um, it's always been really easy with Rocky teaching him new stuff because literally I could spend 3 minutes with him and basically teach him a new trick. Basically I did that a couple times and then I looked at him and I pressed the button and I just said, button, push your button, and I'd push it. And then eventually he did it and the rest was history. For me, it literally was it was like a 1 day thing teaching him how to push the buttons, but then getting him to push them specifically when he wanted that thing, that took some time because each thing is a different topic. But yep, Nancy's saying treats. So let's get up, turn the camera around. You guys can see my mess of a suite. I was gonna try to clean it, but William saying need to contact you. We'll have Jack give you my number. Yeah, I gotta get a hold of you too, William. Let's see here, guys. Turn you around. It's gonna be a mess. Good boy. You're sitting very patiently. We're running out. low. Might as well take them all out. Good boy. Good boy. Hold on. Good boy. Press your button. Good boy. Okay, press your button. Press your button. Press your button. What do you want? Treats? Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Bye. Good boy. Good boy. I don't think that was a very good camera angle, but he got his treats from you guys. I'm throwing cards on the floor, apparently. I'm a mess. I'm going to blame it on the changing of hours. Okay, flipping you guys back around. Oh, it's a mess. Don't look at the camera. Oh, yes, Nancy brought up a good point. Nancy got to see him give me a hug the other day, you guys. So, I've tried a couple times, and you guys have missed it, but he gave a hug on the last live stream. He basically leans his head into my chest, and that's how he hugs. I used to basically have him sit, and I would say, I want a hug, and then I would hug him. But eventually, one day I just kind of said, I want a hug. And I think it was because I was upset or something. It wasn't that I was in a loving mood. I said, I want a hug. I need a hug. And I gave him a hug, and he leaned his head in on my chest and just sat there. And that's his trick now. Hugs. Last comment here before I close this up. I am annoyed with Taylor Swift. Once I retired, she keeps calling me at all hours. Oh. Okay, so before I click this end stream button, does anybody know of anyone else that is live right now? Typically, I don't think anyone goes live after me. But I know there's a lot of people that are in the house right now, so maybe someone knows somebody. I know Nate said there's usually like a Sunday lineup type of deal. So I don't know if he even knows anyone, but let me see. I'm going to type in. Let's type in this one. Ray is not live. Yeah, I don't see anybody else that I could think of. Okay, so right back to you guys. Be safe. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you had some fun tonight. Like I said, we'll play some more games in the future. Hoping to do 2 live streams a week. Not sure when I'll do the other one. I'm definitely going to stick to my Sundays at 7 p.m. Central Time, though. And we'll just go from there. Play some card games. We'll play some computer games. And we'll do the normal talks about Europe. And I think that's going to be how I end my year. I'm not going to do any other videos. William is saying that nobody else is live on Sunday after me. So perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where is that comment? I am going to leave it on that because William took the words right out of my mouth. I will see you all next Sunday and maybe even on Nate's live stream Wednesday, where I am determined to be first. So you heard it here. I'm going to be first on Wednesday. Determined. It's my goal of the week. Take care, everyone.